Howdy, y'all. Let me get myself together here. Back today with a quick one, I suppose. It is my submission into this recent tag video. Just started a couple of days ago by a fella named Gory J. And he would like us to show and talk about some beloved childhood books. And y'all know me, that's right up my alley. When I started this my YouTube comic book channel, it's almost 2 years now. Can't believe it, but it's true. That was kind of my original idea, was to talk about the books that were most beloved to me, and most of those books, the lion's share for sure, do indeed come from my childhood. I'll put a link to Gory J's video, the tag video. I'll put a link below. Where is it? Down here, I guess. Here, wherever. I didn't delve too far into the collection, just pulled out enough books to show off. And I think virtually everything you're going to see here, are my off-the-rack books. I'll let you know when they're not. The first two here are unbagged because I was reading them recently. Submariner number 38, Captain America and the Falcon 151. Whew. Ooh. See, I feel like I should stop this video right now and just go back into these books for about the 800th time. Beloved material. I tried very hard to keep my books in really good shape, and became really conscious of that in the fall of 1972, which I've explained before, but I will explain again when I get to a specific book here from the stack. However, these have been on my, I have stacks of books, unbagged. I just call them my unbagged reader stacks, and that's where a lot of my childhood books kind of ended up over the last couple of decades. But I'm gonna Mylar these, actually. This Submariner, was this from 71? Let me see here. Yeah, June of 71. Has the great retelling of the origin of the Submariner, illustrated by John Severin. Just beautiful stuff. We'll just move along quickly here. Here's my off-the-rack Jungle Action 15. Geez, anyone who knows me knows that I am all about Panther's Rage. Panther's Rage was probably, arguably, my very, very favorite storyline from my childhood in the Bronze Age. It's attracting some heat nowadays because of the Black Panther movie. And that's fine, I actually sent 2 or 3 of my off-the-rack Jungle Action Panther's Rage to the comics preacher, my friend, our friend, Nate. So he's actually got, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 of them, but he's got some Von Chilla childhood off-the-rack books from Panther's Rage. Here, I know. These three are not my off the rack childhood books. And everything else you'll see from here on out is, but this was another beloved series from childhood. One of the most memorable. It was Doctor Strange and Marvel Premiere, number 9 through number 14. The Steve Englehart, Frank Bruner run, just killer books. Again, I would have dug out my off-the-rack books, but I didn't go too deep. Here's one that I got from my sister, so I didn't actually choose this off the rack, but she did. It's from 1973, I do believe. It's a Charlton book, Haunted Love number 4. Just a beloved thing, and as the title suggests, the cover story is indeed a very haunting thing. Off the rack belovedness. Yes. Oh, yes. Well, here's my off the rack Creatures on the Loose 16. Again, anyone who knows me knows that this is one of my probably my top 3, certainly top 5 favorite comic books of all time. This is my off the rack book. I've given away a ridiculous amount of copies of this over the years. Well, just buying up a ridiculous amount of copies over the years allowed me to give away a ridiculous amount of copies over the years. I've still got about a half dozen left around here, as I do of this. Now, wha-bam! Now y'all know that this is the big boy for Dr. Von Chilla, my all-time favorite comic book, Thor 207. This is the book where I became a collector, defined as a collector. I was, 8 years old, I guess, 9 years old in the autumn of 72, 8 years old, when this hit the stands, and it was the book that made me go, you know what, I'm going to start keeping my comic books in the very best shape that I can. And I started collecting runs, and very conscious about getting certain titles every month and all that. Here's another off the rack. I showed this one in a recent video. Another beloved run, Iron Man 1972 to 73 was just killer stuff. Yeah, that's a great book. Oh, another Charlton book, Ghostly Haunts number 41, off the rack. I didn't buy too many Charlton books. I was hooked on The Phantom from 1973 to its end in 1976, I do believe. But here's a great thing. Yeah, great beloved off the rack book. Now this, oh goodness gracious, Captain America and the Falcon 159, my all-time uber favorite battle issue. This is my off the rack copy. I've got a bunch of these around here. Very tough book to find in a super high grade, like a 9.6 to 9.8. I think my best one is probably a 9.6. And I've actually already got this here. How can I cover this up? I've got this earmarked for someone here. To whom? We don't know yet. But I'm planning on sending my off-the-rack copy of my uber-beloved Captain America and the Falcon 159 to someone here in the future. Alright, it's coming to someone out there. Oh, Lord. Tarzan 224, Off the Rack. I really developed a love as a child for Joe Kubert with this title. I didn't buy too many of them. I was mainly focused on Marvel as a kid, but this is my favorite issue of the entire run. And incredibly, Rodney, Dr. Silver Age, recently sent me a copy that came from the Kubert collection. A few years ago, Joe and his sons gave up a large portion of their comic collection, and they're out there now. And I was just so stunned to receive this particular issue. Had a nice certificate with it from the Kubert collection. Oh my goodness gracious. And I've got half a dozen of these around in varying conditions too. This may be the oldest off-the-rack book that I still have. And it was the first book that I bought because I loved the cover. Now, having said that, I need to qualify that statement by saying that before I could read, the comics that I would pick off, off the racks, out of the racks, were obviously because I liked the covers. But this one, Spider-Man 100, is the one where I turned a corner on that, and I don't even know if I can put into words what I'm trying to say, but I think you all know what I'm trying to say. It was the first book that I bought when I went, oh, I want that cover. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Anyway, I've got a couple more around here, but this is my off the rack. Yeah, great book. One more here. As I said, I had a love of Charlton's Phantom. I developed a love. My dad brought. It might have been this actual issue, this book. My dad brought a Phantom book home for me. I think it might have been this one. If not number 58 here, it was number 57 for sure. And that's where I got really attuned to the Phantom. And here's my off-the-rack copy from 1973. Anyway. Whew. If anyone's interested, I have a very detailed comic collecting chronology history in its entirety. It's probably in 12 or 14 different parts. But you can find it all in my channel archives. And I start all the way at the beginning with my earliest memories of pulling books and looking at books back in the 1960s before I could even read. And a little bit of trivia. The first comic book I ever remember lying on the floor and looking at was Amazing Spider-Man number 32. There you go. It's got that classic last page with Spidey trapped under the machinery. You know the pose, yeah. Anyway, that's the first comic book I remember ever looking at, But anyway, yeah, if you want more detail about specific books, more videos where I show off a lot more of my off-the-rack books from childhood all the way up through, just check out my channel's archives. You'll find them there. Anyway, I encourage everyone to get in on this tag. Again, I started my comic book YouTube channel exactly for this very reason, because I wanted to talk about the memories that have been in my head for 50 years, and It was exactly why I started this comic book journey on YouTube in the first place. So, yeah, buddy. Gory J, right up my alley, bud. Yeah, you nailed it. So I encourage everyone to participate, no matter what your age, no matter what childhood or the years of the period of your childhood. I love this kind of stuff, and I know I'm not the only one. So, anyway, thanks again, bud, for starting this tag. I'm going to be following it with great interest, and I'm going to get a lot of fun and joy out of it. So, thanks for watching, y'all. See you later. I'll try not to stay away so long. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since my last video, but I'll try and collect myself enough and to start putting some more good content out there for y'all. So, see y'all later. Bye-bye.